If you're currently exhausted by this manifestation hamster wheel, the constant affirming, watching content, visualizing, scripting, or you have this relentless pressure to stay high vibe and surrender and detach, while your life just feels so stuck, then this video is for you. You are someone who isn't new to manifestation by any means, and you're somewhat fed up with the same information about manifestation, the general message, because frankly, it's not working. And you're ready for transformation that doesn't feel like a full-time job or the specific routine that you have to do all the time, every day. You don't want to question your confidence and your power. I'm an emotional mastery coach, and I've been there too. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you need to stop manifesting altogether if you want to change your life, if you want to manifest your dream life. Because your manifestation efforts are exactly the thing that are blocking your greatest unfolding. We are moving away from these fake methods and techniques, and we are actually shifting to perspective that changes your reality. We are teaching your nervous system that feeling good is not suspicious, it's only new. And we finally give ourselves permission to put ourselves on the pedestal instead of people and the things that we want. So let's start with the truth that manifestation community usually just glosses over. We want to manifest things because we are convinced that these things will bring us joy and fulfillment, happiness, abundance, a sense of freedom and peace. It is our assumption that these feelings happen when we acquire the things that we're trying to manifest, or people, or states, or circumstances. It is a somewhat correct assumption, so of course it's not wrong to think that. These things are for you because your fulfillment includes them. But here is my personal gold nugget. We don't want things, we want feelings. And the things are just a permission slip for us to feel a certain way. Even though it is true that your desires are meant to elevate your life and your experience. The point I'm trying to make here is that they are not the only thing that will give you the feeling. And everything that we do is really only about the feeling. Emotion and feeling is the experience we are here for. You've heard that before, and you will agree that feeling is the secret, right? That's what Neville Goddard said. And you will also agree that you need elevated emotion to manifest. That's what Abraham Hicks says, and Joe Dispenza, and many others. But you don't make feeling good your priority? Come again? Somehow we always default to techniques, focusing on techniques, improving techniques, trying new techniques, perfecting them. And I'm frankly exhausted just thinking about that stage in my manifestation journey when I was chasing the techniques and just perfecting the execution. We are focusing on the techniques because we are trying to not feel bad things. We're trying to bypass the actual sensations in the body. And we think that the technique will fix the feeling. And to be honest, it should, because each technique is there to make us feel a certain way, not really to manifest. But instead, techniques very often just magnify the negative feeling. And it's the feeling that really requires our attention here. So if it's all about the feeling and the desire is meant to make us feel so good, then why is it so difficult to actually feel good in this process? Why do we feel so miserable and anxious and attached? If you feel stuck, it's because there's literally emotion stuck somewhere in your body. When we say feeling stuck, it's really just an umbrella term for a collection of sensations somewhere in our body. It's not really a mind thing. It's not something that we can just fix, intellectually. We have to fix it experientially with embodiment. Emotions are just artifacts of the past in our body, and they cannot harm you, but they definitely can block you. Maybe you recognize this mechanism in yourself as well, but Back in the day, I would have some bad days and I would just resist them and suppress them, occupy myself with something else, just trying to make it go away because I didn't want to be a complainer. I didn't want to solidify the message, I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to fix everything internally. It's just going to go away. And after a few days, I would give in and just vent to a friend only to see that thing go away the very next day. Because when you do, you just admit to your friend how much this was weighing you down, how annoying it is, how it feels, and you're just venting it all out. And the next day, it just goes away. Just by confronting the feeling, by not resisting it, by not suppressing it, we burn the energy behind it and just set ourselves free. And it feels so exhausting, but it's only exhausting because we are fragmented and at war with parts of ourselves. The parts that we, rejected. We're not going to get into semantics of how all this works because frankly, it doesn't matter. All you feel, experience, perceive, think, intuit, all of this happens in your awareness. So if these emotions are in our awareness and they are there whether we admit it or not, then why are we afraid of them? And why is that the bad feeling is actually like a doorway to feeling good? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So this is where I might lose some of the high vibe crowd, but please bear with me here, it's very important. Buddhist philosophy suggests that suffering is the result of the belief that there is a me to whom things happen. In short, it's our attachment to this drama of life that is the source of suffering. And the secret to feeling good is the complete surrender to what is here and now, whether it is good or bad. The surrender to the immediate experience and the allowing of all the emotions. And it's, of course, totally counterintuitive because what do you mean? For me to feel good, I first have to feel bad. So let me explain. When we allow ourselves to feel everything, even the bad things, even the vulnerabilities, we get parts of ourselves that we disowned, the parts that we deem to be problematic, disturbing, or unworkable. We've spent years treating these parts of ourselves as something that has to be fixed and telling ourselves that, oh, only if I don't feel like this, when this happens, then everything is going to be okay. And this way we are turning ourselves into a lifelong project to work on that can never really be resolved. Because negative emotions, given the nature of life, they are part of life, and resisting them is just a recipe for, just work and fixing all your life. But you work with these negative emotions in the present moment by feeling what's here. There is this profound truth I always come back to, and it goes, chasing a positive experience is a negative experience, and accepting a negative experience is a positive experience. Think about the time you're feeling like really sad. And if you just give into it, put on some sad music and just swallow for a little while, and suddenly it's a vibe. It becomes a bit fun, like, in this melancholic sort of way. We hear a lot about surrender, but we don't really know what it means specifically. So here is what it means. Make feeling good and joyous your main job. We are definitely not here to force any sort of positivity. Abraham Hicks has this well-being scale, this emotional guidance scale that is really good. And you don't have to jump from anger or disappointment all the way to peace. It's not the goal, and it's also not sustainable. And very often it's also a way to bypass what seems undesirable. And actually looking at the negative feelings as undesirable is a problem in itself that will perpetuate it further. This is what keeps you stuck, and it's also a source of suffering and attachment. Can you find the next good feeling right now? So find the next best feeling by just climbing up this ladder. Whatever it is that you want, apart from the feeling being there when you get it, Is there any way that you can find even a fraction of this feeling in your current circumstances, in your life right now? So provide this evidence for your nervous system that feeling this good is the best thing for you, because this way your nervous system is going to accept it more easily. So feeling better is really just about finding a state with a little bit more this breathing room. So let's say that you're feeling disappointed. Maybe something that you're manifesting hasn't showed up yet. And instead of forcing a high vibe, smile, and, executing your technique or repeating affirmations, we look closer at this disappointment. By looking at the ladder, can you find the feeling that is next there, that is overwhelming, that this disappointment is actually hiding? You can say something like this to yourself, for example: I am overwhelmed by the pressure I put on myself for this manifestation to show up and, save me and change my life. And even though overwhelmed seems, still negative, it's actually a power move because it has more energy than the sinking feeling of disappointment. It is really a step up. And once you admit that you are overwhelmed, you might find some frustration. You can say, I'm actually quite frustrated, annoyed even, that I've put so much effort, but I'm still here and nothing is changing. Believe it or not, but frustration actually has more energy than being overwhelmed or disappointed. It has teeth. It feels better to feel a bit annoyed than just defeated. And it also helps you release some of that stored energy. And eventually you get tired of being annoyed and you enter boredom. You may say to yourself, honestly, I'm just so bored with all this, manifestation, and I've gone in circles all the time for days and I'm just over it. Boredom is a massive relief. It's this neutral gear for your nervous system, and it also gives you permission to just rest and do nothing for a while. And from this neutral space, we can finally find some contentment. Contentment isn't this like over the moon feeling, but it's like, I'm okay. I'm here, I'm safe, and I can just go and make myself a cup of coffee. Life is good enough. My life doesn't have to change like this instant so that I feel good in my skin. And from contentment, we enter this emotional territory of the upward spiral. From the contentment, you go up by finding the essence of your desire. Even in small ways, just something to just feel in your current reality. And the essence of your desire is the feeling that the desire is supposed to deliver. You don't find a good feeling, you choose it by stopping giving energy to the things that don't serve you. But don't search for the good feeling too much, because this too can turn into this avoidance mechanism. Feel, release, let go, and just find something that brings you joy. Instead of focusing on things and placing them on the pedestal, we shift this direction of our focus towards ourselves and put ourselves on that high pedestal. We put our own well-being and awareness on pedestal. This changes your vibration, creates body and mind coherence, and it reconditions your body, your nervous system, that it's okay to feel good without being suspicious about it. As it was until now, your nervous system didn't really trust this piece yet, and it wanted to protect us from it. But this is making you magnetic, and it attracts, the life you love, drawing it to you. So here is why, okay? Because no matter what it is that we want, we all want to feel love. And love can be expressed in many different ways, whether by actual love or passion or peace or contentment, all those good things. All of this is love. So teach your body now how it is to feel love, even towards those disowned parts of yourself that still kind of rebel. And resting in love is really my favorite way to raise my vibration. As a final thought, is there anything better than just being at peace with yourself and loving yourself and accepting yourself. You get there by practicing unconditional kindness towards all of you and finding the next best feeling, thought, and emotion. And you work with it in the present moment by feeling what's here. And you will quickly notice how actually working with the negative this way makes it go away faster, how it's much easier to let go of it. Then you feel good and relieved, and you have more motivation to continue this practice. And do this with intention to actually just feel better, because intention here is very, very important. The intention has to be love, not wanting, not desire, the feeling of desire. If you would like to dive deeper into this grounded and nervous system-led approach, there are 2 ways to work with me. My course Nervous System Expansion is designed to help you build the body awareness and let go of the emotions that are still trapped in your body in a safe way. And my program, Unwavering Manifestor Experience, is for those who are ready to start trusting their inner wisdom with the embodied practice. And you can watch this video next if you feel stuck in manifestation and you want to make things flow again, because your nervous system is going to fight you to death before you manifest.